Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my Formula 1 2020. My career mode as Michael Schumacher, currently driving for Haas Formula 1. We're at the Brazilian Grand Prix. This is the penultimate Grand Prix in the season. There's only one more race to go after this. The world title and obviously constructors titles are fully wrapped up, so we're just racing for
Carl about the new parts, and we're happy that they've
points
been
at this
integrated
minute.
into the car. Okay, with any luck, you'll be able to feel the improvement. So give them a try.
We're trying to salvage our aero parts, which are going to get reset at the end of the season. So we're trying to convert as many of the aero parts as possible, which is why all the practice points are going into the aero department. And then after that, we will see what happens next. Like I say, I have been talking in recent videos that I might look at moving teams at the end of the season. Depends who makes me a decent offer. Hey look, there's Roman. And he's not on fire. That's nice to see. Right, we're here. Weekend preview. Good thing is, it's not supposed to rain. Practice was a bit damp, the practice sessions, but qualifying and the race are supposed to be quite nice. So, that should be good. Parc Fermé regulations are in effect. Doesn't matter because I'm not actually changing my engine at all for this race. I'm sticking with engine 4. I used it for practice and I used it for the race. I'm going to use it for the race. Same in Abu Dhabi. I'm going to use the engine 4 for the practice and I'm going to use it in the race. So this is going to be an interesting experience because this is one of my first times running on dry tyres because of how wet practice was. Not done a lot of running on the slicks. And across the line we go. Good first.
There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
Good first lap. And as we come to the end of Q1, I am leading the way with a nice 106. Very short lap round here in Brazil, by the looks of it. Which means hopefully nice quick race, but they'll probably give us some ridiculously high lap count to make up for the fact that the laps are so short. Bottas down in 14th. He only just got into Q2. Again, he's the guy I'm keeping my eye on because he's the guy whose seat I kind of fancy taking over if I can get an offer to join Mercedes. Then he's the guy that I want to take the seat of. So obviously going to qualify on the medium tyres here to try and give myself the best strategy for the race.
You've just put in the fastest lap. Good job.
Excellent. Excellent work. And again, as we come to the end of practice qualifying 2, Bottas has taken the lead. Lewis is in 3rd. Roman's down there in 9th. That's not a good place for Roman
so
to
far
be.
Is a 1 minute 6.7.
Vettel's lurking in 5th. Of course, we still have that rivalry with Vettel, even though he is due to retire at the end of the season. So at the end of Q2, Roman got knocked out. Right, as did Perez in the Racing Point. Right. Q3. Soft tyres on. Let's go. Let's put it on pole if we can. We've got a Ferrari in front of us. Can't tell which Ferrari that is from this distance. But he's in front of me. So we might actually be able to use this Ferrari as a bit of a helper. Because no doubt, if we can get close enough to him to the start and finish straight, we could maybe slipstream him, get a bit of a tow. I'm going to guess this is Leclerc, perhaps. We're close enough to get a bit of a tow. He's going to drag us all the way to the start and finish. Perfect. Thank you, Ferrari. I think it was Leclerc. Hey, I'm going to take it. That lovely tow helped me, I believe, put it on pole. That was probably enough, that extra bit. So thank you, Charles, for giving me that lovely tow down the start and finish straight.
If you want to know specific information or make certain changes to the car during a pit stop, you can tell me what you want over the radio. Press and hold the radio button to activate the system.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. Schumacher, Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Well, that wraps up
So the
qualifying,
Red Bull
but don't
got
worry,
ahead of the
we'll be
two
back
Mercedes.
tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
That's going to be interesting. But he did so on the soft tyres.
First of all, congratulations. You must be thrilled.
I'm
Looks
kind
like
of
you've had
happy.
a great qualifying session. It must be a relief being that far up the grid.
Yeah, no surprise. Our team is pretty
How
good.
do you think this team will be feeling after that result? Appreciate your time.
No response to that question. Again, why are they asking me about other teams? I don't understand that. I think that's one area of this game, these like interviews. It's the one area of this game that Codemasters could do a better job of. Because the questions, they're nonsense. They make no sense. And, you know, from a role-playing perspective, they make no sense either. You know, why am I being asked about other teams? Like, oh, what do you think of Williams? And how well do you think they're doing this season and stuff? It's like, well, you'd never ask a Formula 1 driver that.
Well done.
You would only ask him about his performances and his team and his season and stuff. I tell you what, seeing Roman not on fire is not going to get old. Right, let's go into the race then. Like I say, I haven't got to do any tweaks or changes to the car. Everything's working okay. I did remember for this race when I was doing my car setup in practice to raise the ride height a little bit more.
Brazilian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his third championship here in 2012. And in 2016, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. We're racing today then at Interlagos, a historic 2.7-mile circuit, and one of the few anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar. 15 corners in total, 9 to the left and 6 to the right, with a technical middle section opening up to a flat-out Sector 3. And that gives us our best passing opportunity down into Turn 1. A warm welcome to Anthony Davidson, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Let's talk about Schumacher. They've had a fantastic campaign. It's been a wonderful year, and they come into this weekend's Grand Prix as a fully deserving champion.
It really is well deserved. I wouldn't say it's been a faultless title challenge, but certainly one that has been consistent and well managed. Here's hoping they let off a bit of steam today and give us an exciting race.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Schumacher lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo, and Vettel, Albon, Ocon, Grosjean, and Sergio Perez. Giovinazzi, Latifi, Pierre Gasly, and Sainz, Norris, Stroll, Daniel Kvyat, and Kimi Raikkonen. Russell and Charles Leclerc completes
Charles
today's
Leclerc
grid
is at the
order.
back of the grid
It's
again
almost
because
time
of
for the
grid
lights to
penalties.
go out,
What is
so let's
going
head down to
on
the track
there?
and get this Grand Prix underway.
Why are so many teams still taking like 10 place penalties? Really? Right. Let's have a bit of a okay, for some reason then. Okay, for some reason I seem to have selected the wrong race strategy there. I thought I was doing medium to hard. Obviously I'm recording this commentary in post after the video. And I was a little bit confused at a point in this race because I thought I was one-stopping. But that makes sense now. I seem to have accidentally changed my... I've gone on to strategy 2 on that screen. That's what messed everything up, because I was wondering if I'd accidentally changed something here on the MFD, which caused a problem later on.
That's a strong start. Well done.
I got a fairly decent start there. It wasn't the greatest of starts. Again, because I haven't played this game for a fortnight, it's been sort of 2 weeks, 3 weeks since I did the last video, the Mexican Grand Prix. on the start and finish line there, you'll notice I was moving up and down the MFD instead of switching to fuel mix, because I remembered I was talking about switching my fuel mix buttons to the D-pad on my steering wheel and leaving the MFD and putting the MFD on the plus and minus buttons on my DFGT wheel. I never actually got round to making that change, but I was convinced I had done it. So on the start and finish line there, as I was trying to select rich mix, I was using the D-pad and I was just going up and down when I should have just been hitting the plus button. So I very nearly started the race in the wrong fuel mode. I was very slow at getting into rich mix. It also meant I was very late enabling the ERS off the start and finish line, but I still managed to get a good start. Kept ahead of Verstappen, kept ahead of the Mercedes boys. Verstappen's the odd man out at the minute because he's the guy running on the soft tyres where everyone else is running on the mediums. So I could see the Mercedes boys wanting to clear Verstappen fairly quickly in this race. They probably don't want to get stuck behind him until he pits, because that will cost them quite a bit of time. Although from my point of view, the longer they stay behind Max the better, because then they're not chasing me down. And I think possibly race pace they are faster than me. The Mercedes are probably really happy that DRS has been enabled, because they'll probably be able to use it to get past Max on this next run down to turn 1 and then through the second DRS zone, which means I'm probably not going to be too far off having company in the race. I think the Mercedes will be too strong for the Red Bull in this part of the circuit. Although Max seems to have survived the start and finish straight. And he's probably survived the second DRS zone as well on this lap.
We're leading our teammate by 8.6 seconds.
That's nice. Got a little bit out of shape through there. We're doing okay though, we're doing okay. Lap 5. The guys on the soft tyres must be thinking probably boxing very soon. So if the Mercedes don't get past Max on track, they're going to obviously get past him when he pits. I guess he's doing the soft, medium strategy. Kind of the reverse of what I'm doing, or what I've selected to do accidentally by mistake at the start of the race. Got very wide there. And very wide again, and we've been warned for it this time. Track limits exceeded. Got to stop running there's no reason for me to be out there. It's not making me any quicker going that wide through that particular turn. Oh, and another track limits. That was sloppy. That was very sloppy of me. Probably not going to get away with another track limits now. I picked up 2 in short succession. Next one will be a penalty. So definitely going to have to be a bit cautious now in some of these corners.
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
Losing time to the car behind. Okay, so Max is catching on me. He might be starting to push because he's getting close to boxing, I would think. He's probably trying to do his hammer time. I'm really surprised the Mercedes boys haven't got past him. They haven't cleared him. That's got to be hurting their race a little bit. And I'm surprised Hamilton is stuck behind Bottas. I'm surprised he hasn't had the nod from Toto and James to pass Bottas. Because Bottas isn't even in the fight for P2, is he, in the Constructors? Because he's DNF that many races. So at the minute, it's P2 in the title championship is between Max and Lewis. So right now, Bottas is screwing over Hamilton quite significantly by not getting out there.
Be
Bottas
careful,
has
we
passed
think you're going to start losing some
Verstappen.
tyre grip around now.
Okay. But Bottas has actually done the overtake on track. And Hamilton has passed Verstappen too. Oh, but Verstappen's just retaken the position. I'm watching that. I'm paying more attention to the race order at the minute than I am the actual track in front of me.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the softs.
And this is the bit where Jeff confused me, because when I heard that in the race, I was like, what? Why am I going to be on the softs? I'm supposed to be on the hards. I'm one stopping. What have I done wrong? And then I'm like, okay, I need to find a position where I can change that in my MFD and make sure I reselect the correct tyre. Because I do not want to be on the... I do not want to be on the softs. Now is not the time to change the pit strategy. And I've lost loads of time to the cars behind. Look. Wow. Suddenly, Bottas, Verstappen, Hamilton have managed to catch me by a ridiculous amount.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
I think because Jeff distracted me with that pit call, I made some mistakes in some of the corners. And yeah, those guys
behind is 10.2 seconds.
Those guys have caught up with me. Verstappen has pitted, which has allowed Hamilton now to take track position. He's still behind Bottas at this point. But man, I don't feel quite so comfortable now, especially as Bottas is within DRS range. He's within that 1 second gap. Okay, I'm just putting a little bit of time on him. So he's not going to get DRS down this straight. Good. Yeah, I lost a lot of time in sector 1, look. I had a red sector there. So I made a lot of mistakes.
We're going to box this lap. Push hard on the in-lap.
We're not boxing this lap, Jeff. I can assure you of that. We're not going to box until after Mercedes. Because I'm guessing those guys are one-stopping. We'll see for a fact if that is the case. If they don't pull into the pits this lap, then we know they're doing the same. They're doing the one-stop strategy that I should have been doing. I'm just starting to struggle through some of these corners now. I'm not getting quite the grip I need. The car's starting to understeer a little bit. Oh. I've got Mercedes swarming all around behind me. Oh. Oh. I'm getting a bit wild. Again, I'm watching the rearview mirror. I'm not watching the track. I've got to focus on the track. The cars behind me are behind me. At the end of the day, I've got to focus on what's in front of me. Let them worry about trying to find a way past me. I've just got to focus on doing the best job I can do. Hamilton has actually passed Bottas on the circuit. I missed that. I didn't see where that happened. But now it's Hamilton charging me down. Maybe the team have done the team switcheroo. They've done the team orders. Because they realise Bottas isn't in the drivers' standings. He's not in the top position fight. I got very deep into that corner. Yeah, I'm just starting to struggle now. A little bit of understeer and a little bit of loss of grip. Jeff was probably right. I am starting to feel the tyres dropping off. Hamilton is boxing this lap.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
Which means Bottas must be boxing on the next lap. So I need to do another couple. Oh, very nearly lost the car there. The back end just started to go. So that's messed up this lap. I was doing a pretty decent lap there. And then I've messed it up right at the end. Again, these are the laps that have to be perfect because I'm trying to give myself the gap when I make my pit stop. Right, Bottas is in.
Roman is in the pits.
Right, that forces me into having to do another lap because I can't pit this lap because Roman's in the pits. So I'll need to do at least one more lap after this one. And again, too deep into that corner. Oh, I'm all out of shape. So these are not the best in laps. You know? I'm messing up. These were supposed to be, you know, the best laps I could do to extend the gap. Give myself that breathing room when I come out of the pits, but I feel like I'm not doing that. Keep messing up in sector 3, losing a lot of time in sector 3. We'll see how this lap goes before I make the decision whether to box or not. And deep into there again. Yeah, I'm struggling. I think these tyres have had it.
Confirmed. We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Let's box. Let's box. At the end of the day, I'm better off strapping on new tyres and not losing time. If I'm losing time on these tyres, I might as well get rid of them. I'm better off being on a new set of tyres that I have got grip with. There we go.
Release.
3.1 seconds, that's a bit slow, lads. Come on. You only had
Look
4
after these
tyres to
tyres
change
now.
there,
We want to
boys.
finish the race on this compound.
Tell you what, it's going to be close. Hamilton's going to be not that far behind us. In fact, there he is. Here he comes. Oh, of course, he's going to have his tyres already up to temperature because he's been on them a couple of laps longer. Tell you what, this is probably my first time running on these tyres this weekend. Again, with the wet practice and certainly qualifying, I don't think I've run the hard tyres on this circuit. Ooh, that could be a concern. But Hamilton's got the same tyres. He's also got DRS, and he's going to breeze past me.
Try to stay with him, he might make a mistake. We could still regain the position.
Right, we must not lose another spot. So yeah, my bad in-laps have cost me big time there, because Lewis has managed to get ahead of me. Came out far too close to him following the pit stop, and he's just absolutely mugged me with the DRS down that start and finish straight. So now I've got to go on the offensive. I get to do a bit of racing, folks. See if I can actually overtake a Merc. We've done it once before this season. We've managed to hunt him down and pass him.
We're leading our teammate by 14.4 seconds.
Let's see if we can do it again. I really could do with Verstappen getting out of the way, though. I don't want him sticking his pointy front wing anywhere into this situation. I mean, the good thing is he's on the soft tyres, which means he's pitting again at some point, so he will get pulled out of the way. Strategy will clear him out the road, but yeah, I definitely want this fight between me and Lewis to be between me and Lewis. And you know, Mercedes haven't had the best reliability this season. Maybe if we put him under a lot of pressure,
Fuel is looking really good. You're managing it well.
he might push the car too far and blow up. Fuel is looking very good, and what I'm taking advantage of at the minute is, whilst I have DRS, I'm using the DRS instead of the rich mix. So I'm trying to save a bit of fuel for the later part of the race, because I think potentially my best chance of overtaking Lewis might be later on when he's in fuel saving. And if I've still got a bit of extra go-go juice in the car, I can potentially get a bit of a speed boost. And the game's getting a little bit framey and a little bit laggy in some of these corners, which is really not helping me to pick me braking spots. Again, the performance of this game is a little bit iffy, and it keeps getting worse with each patch that Codemasters release, I'm finding. At least on my PC. I don't know about other people. Let me know in the comment section below if you're having issues with the game's performance and it's stuttering it sometimes into some of these, well, especially when you're going into corners, it stutters, which is the worst possible time, I think, for a game to stutter. Lewis is just slowly pulling away from me. I need to make sure I stay in that DRS window. Can't afford to let Lewis break the 1 second barrier. Otherwise I'm going to have to start using the engine mode. Don't think I'm going to get DRS down and start finish straight, am I? No. No DRS this time. Lewis has broke. I'm not going to get it down here either, so I'm going to have to use my car, the ERS and Rich Mix, to try and get a close the gap. Just pulled that gap out to 1.5 seconds. I really need to back in back to me somehow. Again, main thing is just keep doing clean laps. There might be a chance later on that he comes back to me when he starts to have to conserve fuel and conserve tyres, because don't forget he's been on these tyres longer than me. Or he will have been on the I mean 3 laps is probably not going to be a lot of difference performance wise, but hey, gives me hope. Something to cling on to. Bit of artificial confidence that maybe 3 laps is what I need.
We're catching the car ahead, but be aware that these tyres need to last till the end of the race.
Okay, Jeff, got it. But I'm really not racing to be second today. I want to win here in Brazil. I want to win on the legendary circuit. You know, with some of the greats have won on, like Ayrton and Lewis. I want to put my name amongst legends of the sport by winning here at Interlagos. Laps to go. Lewis is keeping that gap roughly at 1.5 seconds. At the minute, so I'm going to need to find some place or some strategy to try and close that gap. I need to get back to DRS. start using the rich mix and the ERS, the overtake mode a little bit more, especially on some of these straights where the Mercedes power unit is definitely going to have a massive advantage over us. Although I still think in the performance tables the Haas engine is top. Our Ferrari engine is the best engine, better than Ferrari's actual Ferrari engine. Work that one out, kids, if you can. Hamilton looks a lot closer now. Hamilton looks a lot closer. We've suddenly taken a second out of him in the last lap. So he's now in, potentially, we're back in DRS range. Just need to stay focused then. We have got DRS. We have... Oh, this is good.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race.
New fastest lap of the race. I wonder if Lewis is now doing a bit of conserving. He's having to do a bit of fuel management, maybe. Because to lose a second in one lap, that's a combination of things, I think. No, it's not just me doing a flipping worldie of a lap. That is him also taking his foot off the gas. I haven't seen him make any mistakes.
Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far.
I think we're trading fastest laps at the minute. Came close to running into the back of him there. Getting a little bit of aero stall being this close to him, losing the downforce going into the corners, being tucked up under his diffuser. Let's give it a run though. DRS wide open. We're going to go around the outside of him like he did to us. We're going to give him a little bit of a squeeze towards the wall as well, because we're Michael Schumacher and we don't race clean. You know? Just scare Lewis a little bit by the prospect, putting the thought in his mind that we might put him in the wall. Which honestly would be the first caution. We've not had any yellow flags in this race. We've not had a virtual safety car. We've not had a safety car. I know I'm potentially cursing the Grand Prix at this point by saying that, but this has been one of those interesting races where, so far, everything has gone well. All the cars are still running. Nobody's retired. Nobody's failed to finish, including Bottas. Which is probably the most surprising thing. The good thing is we got far enough away from Lewis that he's now 1.5 seconds behind. So we've managed to drop the Merc at this point. Maybe he's just having a bit of a regroup. We probably caught him at the right time. He's probably got to have a couple of lean laps just to make sure he can get to the end. Of course, me running deep into that corner isn't going to help. That's going to bring him right back onto my rear wing. There's a Williams ahead. If I can overtake the Williams and maybe put him between me and Hamilton, that would be quite nice. Use the Williams as a bit of a blocker.
You've lost some time to the car behind.
Yeah, I know I did, Jeff. I know exactly where I lost the time as well. When I went deep into that corner. Come on, let's try and get after Older. I don't know if this is Latifi or Russell. It's one of the two. Good luck we get him down the start and finish straight if we can get close enough. He's getting blue flagged.
No need to worry about tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Is he going to pull over down the start and finish straight? He is indeed. And he does take the position up. So Lewis has now got to get past the same Williams, who probably isn't going to make it easy for him. Oh, he has made it easy for him.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
He's going to let him pass down this straight, isn't he? Come on. Williams should, of course, Williams, Mercedes powered. They're not going to hold up the works team, are they? They're not going to, you know, they're not going to do Mercedes dirty. So yeah, the Williams didn't put up any kind of fight when the Mercedes cruised up behind it, which is a bit of a shame, because again, puts Lewis right there. Oh, I'm running wide again, flirting with getting that time penalty. A time penalty now would be absolutely destroying. And I love how we've managed to me and Lewis have managed to pull out an 11-second gap over Bottas. So Bottas in third place is kind of running in no man's land. He's got absolutely dropped somehow. How has he got that far behind? Apart from the fact that obviously me and Lewis are just exceptional drivers. We are just, you know, classes of our own. Couple more back markers in. There's another Williams. I think there's an Alfa Romeo ahead of him. Final lap of the race.
This is your final lap of the race.
Williams is moving over. Thank you.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon.
He's also managed to put himself right in the path of Lewis. So Lewis won't pass him through those corners, although it looks like Lewis has got past. Williams again. Not holding up the Merc. But I think we've done it. I think we've got Brazil Grand Prix victory sewn up. A good tight race. Lewis, you know, he made it a race. To be fair, me and Lewis have made that a race. And that was actually quite a fun and enjoyable race.
That's
I
3
actually
wins
really
in a row.
enjoyed that.
Unbelievable work.
I really enjoyed that. Because I had some work to do after that pit stop. Because I had to overtake him.
That's
For all the naysayers in the chat and in the comments who say I can't overtake,
it's been a magnificent season.
I think I proved you wrong
thoroughly
today.
deserve the cheers of the crowd here today. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
There aren't many teams, you know, as they come out onto the podium now, who could do what Haas have managed to accomplish here. It's hard to believe just how competitive they've already become. An amazing victory.
Look at that. Mercedes drivers on the podium.
Some
Maybe
amazing talents
future
out on the
Mercedes
track today.
driver
But
on the
Anthony,
podium.
who would you pick as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards.
Nothing can challenge the leaders of the Constructors' Championship at this point, and it's total victory for the Haas team as they become the World Constructors' Champions. They haven't been in this sport long, but my goodness have they left an impression. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Yeah, see, Lewis very vitally has got that second place. Mercedes have also managed to get back to second place in the Constructors' Championship, which is very important, because at one point they were quite lagging down the table. Now, in the rivalry, obviously, I'm destroying Vettel. There's only one race to go because he does retire at the end of the season. And I need 7 points to win. Which means I've got to out-qualify him. And I've got to have a perfect, flawless race in Abu Dhabi. Right, so final race of the season is coming up. Our performance, we're about a mid-table team now, look. We've managed to get the... we're ahead of Ferrari, who have really dropped with the performance update a couple of episodes back. We've got our final 2 parts to adapt on the car for next season. So even if I decide to leave Haas team, I'm not leaving them in a bad position because at least I've managed to get the car. The car will be at the same state at the start of next season as it is now. They're not going to lose any performance. That's the main thing. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens after that last race. Again, engine is perfectly fine. Gearbox is perfectly fine. My contract expires in 14 days, so I hopefully get to renegotiate. Maybe, like I say, Mercedes drive could be in the future. I don't know what level they will... I mean, if I can get to... I'm in level 12 acclaim, so maybe that appeals to them. But yeah, Abu Dhabi, final race of the season is coming up, which will be in the next video, everybody. Thank you for watching today's video, and sorry that it's a week later than it should have been. But hopefully you'll come back and join me for the final race of the season very soon. Goodbye for now, folks.